Hello, it's Debbie here. I thought I'd come down to the Adelaide Arcade and share some of the stories which abound from this place. In the late 1800s, this particular arcade was the first shopping arcade in Adelaide. It was one of the first places to be lit with electric lights, and it was a luxurious shopping paradise for all the Victorian consumers who would come here. Not only did this become known as haunted, because there was a man here called Francis Clooney. Francis Clooney was a caretaker here during the late 1800s, and on one evening there was something wrong with the generator. So Francis went downstairs to check what was going on with the generator. But the shop where the generator was is now called the Manhattan Dry Cleaners. Unfortunately, when he went to open and put his head to see what was going on with the generator, he fell in. It decapitated him. He gave him horrific head injuries. He didn't survive. He lived up here in rooms up here, and he left a wife and 5 children. That's one of the stories. His ghost is said to haunt this place. Is of a caretaker called Francis Clooney, who was believed to have been decapitated in this very shop, because originally this very shop was the original generator for the first electrically lighted arcade in the centre of Adelaide. This was a paradise. This was a Victorian luxury for shopping, sparkling lights. Not only that, it also incorporated underground tea rooms, which is still here to this day. You can't get access to the tea rooms anymore, but the rooms are still there, including a natural spring. Let's have a look around and see if we can find some more stories and investigate these stories a little bit further. of the stories about the Adelaide Arcade is that there was a child that could have possibly been killed somehow in one of the side alleys here, and some of the shopkeepers sometimes say that they hear her voice calling out for mum. A couple of the other shopkeepers I've spoken to today have said that they hear things like when they're here first thing in the morning and they're setting up, they'll hear things like footsteps behind them and, you know, unexplained noises and things like that. So they're not necessarily believing that it was a ghost, but I think Francis is here, don't you? Where else are you going to go? If you're dearly departed or you find yourself, you know, you're killed in some traumatic way, the first place I'm going to